Stance, weight shift, and aiming, or what I like to call muscle memory, is what I use instead of aiming at a link. So I'll kind of explain all those three. First of all, the stance part, I like to basically just have a wide stance. And this, obviously everyone's stance is different, but this will apply to everybody. What I like to do to make sure I get a weight shift is I'll kind of keep my front foot flat, like not flat, but like just fully extended. Because that means my back foot is kind of like bent at a little bit of an angle. What that means is that basically when I'm cutting, my arm and my back leg are basically synchronized. So when I'm coming through, my weight's exploding at the same time as my arms coming through. So that basically just means I'm putting with my legs just as much as I'm putting with my arms. A lot of people think they gotta really use their wrist and arms and all this other stuff. You're putting with just as much as your lower body as you are with your arm. Your arm's basically just guiding the disc, and the weight shift is what allows you to get power when you're putting. Obviously not from this short a distance, but like when you start getting out to 30, 40, 50 feet, you got to rely on your lower body to putt just instead of just using your arms and wrist. So yeah, I like to start off with a flat front foot, because what that means is when I come through, I have nowhere else but to go forward. My weight's already back before I putt. By the time I putt, my weight's got to come forward. And obviously if I'm outside of the jump putt range, I'm able to come all the way forward. And when I'm inside the 33-foot ring, I'll fall sideways, basically just as good as weight shift forward, just sideways, because I can't step over my mark. So that covers the stance and the weight shift. As far as aiming, or like what I call muscle memory, I hear a lot of people talking about how they'll just kind of look at a link, or I'll be like, oh, I'm aiming at this link right here. I don't actually aim at a certain link. I've adapted my style to where I see how far I am away, and I rely on basically my muscle memory. I'm not staring at a link or something. I'm just kind of, obviously, looking at the basket itself. I'm not looking at like laser focusing on a link. I just feel like if I look and see the basket, see how far I am away, and just look at the overall basket, I can see that I know all my muscle memory, muscle movements have to do to make it from this range. Because from here, my muscles don't have to, I don't have to explode the weight really fast. I can basically just go like this and lift my arm up and get there to the basket because of how short a distance it is. But once I start getting out to 40, 50 feet, that's when I have to start really relying on my weight shift to get the power there and explode the power. So yeah, as far as aiming, I just really look at the direction, look at the distance, how far away I am from the basket, and rely on my muscle memory to know how far I am away, and how hard I need to putt it or soft. And for me, I have two different styles. That's basically the only two styles to use. There's a spin putt and a push putt. That was all for my main putt, which is a push putt. It's kind of just like a high rise dropping putt. And there's a spin putt, which I use for like super long distance, like 100-foot putts, just like layups, or low ceiling putts. And I don't use that to really, if I'm really far away, that's when I use that. I don't use it like inside of like 60 feet or anything else. I'm able to just push putt. But yeah, like I said, most of that stuff will translate to no matter which way you putt. The weight shift, the aiming technique, all that stuff. It doesn't just apply to my putting or his putting or anyone's putting. I think all you guys do that, it'll eliminate the variables to where, all right, if I stand here, do my weight shift, I'm not relying on just snapping the disc on the line, which is what some people do when they're putting. They think it's all arm or all upper body. It's not. It's a lot more to do with your weight, your lower body. It's getting your whole body incorporated instead of just your upper body, your arms, and whatever a lot of people think. You guys have any questions?
How do you hold it?
I hold it with just basically a fan grip. I hold it with all three fingers spread out on the bottom, and the front finger kind of just placed on the side of the disc. That's how I hold my grip.
Like the thumb.
My thumb is placed in the same spot as the flag. Right where the top. It's like a little bridge right there with the half inch. Yeah. I'm not holding it like on the edge or like in the middle. It's kind of a comfortable, grip to where I'm not too crazy.
Are you pushing it back into your palm much?
Yeah, I'm holding like you hold a fork. So you put a fork in your hand, basically, to eat. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just kind of putting it in my hand comfortably, right there in the middle of my palm, and then my fingers fall around it.
Do you push back into your palm much? Like
I'm not like back
not
here.
like hard, but you know, are you kind of like pushing it back into here?
No, I'm not like jamming it in or anything. Just basically like right where my pointer finger is. I'm kind of putting it right there, and then down to my palm right there.
So that's what the pressure is.
Yeah,
That's just right.
Right. I'm not putting it like up here or anything like super close to. You know, I see some people like that. I just feel like I have better control of the disc if I have most of my fingers out. Because if you look at it, my fingers are covering half the disc instead of like some people put it like a power. Some people put it with power. I don't know many people, but they put it with a power grip. I just feel like you don't have that much control if you put it like this compared to if you put it like this. I just feel like I have more control of the disc, and for me, it's more consistent that way. And obviously, your putting grip is, a lot of people have different ways to do it, but that's just how I like to do it. What about anyone else? Question?
You stick with the same disc no matter how for when you're putting?
I like to have all those putters are the exact same putters, so I'll have four or five putters, so that when I go out and practice, all the same putters. I'm not putting with 4 different putters, and then by the time the tournament comes, I'm able to that practice really pays off, and like I said. I'll go around the basket, putt from every angle, just so by the time the tournament comes, no matter where I land, I'm like, oh, I know there's a little elevation, or the basket's a little higher than you think, so you got to putt it higher. So that's why, I really rely on muscle memory. It's because when I go around and practice the course or practice putt, I'll go on the basket and say, all right, land right here. All right, I've done my putts, 10 or 20 putts before the tournament starts or the round starts or whatever, and I'll know how far to, what the muscle memory feels like to make it. Any questions?
As far as those hard putters, why do most of the pros use those, and then you see a lot of us like soft putters? We love the soft.
Yeah, I mean, I basically just like the hard putters because you feel so much more consistent, and I don't want to putter like this. For me, I really just like other people like but I just like firm. It's not going anywhere. It's not like moving in my hand, and that way I know I just have firm grip. It's not going to be a little it's not going to be drooping in my hand or anything like that. So I think that's why a lot of us like that, just because it's the most consistent play, and when it's hot, it's still it's still a little softer, but it's not like a gooey marshmallow or something. Anyone else?
How'd you bad putt with the mid range?
I mean, I guess it really I can't say it's bad, but I mean it's just like anything. If you can make all the motions right, and, get to see consistency behind it. I wouldn't say it's bad.
Johnny Science still putt with the rock?
Yeah, I think he does actually. Yeah.
I know it was about. Where'd you said you lined it up like in between your index and thumb, so like. No, that's close to how I hold it. I just remember seeing that Felber climber thing where you said put it between that.
Yeah,
the line going straight up here. Unless, maybe that's just for drives.
Yeah, that's about what I put.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Can I photobomb it, please?
You sidearm mid-range.
Real quick?
Yeah. My sidearm mid-range, I'll just hold it with the power thing. It's like a little, putter. No? Any other questions, guys?
How do you eliminate the wobble when you're doing a jump putt?
Good call.
Eliminate the wobble. All right.
Let me back up 200 feet.
What I see a lot of people do is
Mine are big misses.
when they're jump putting, they'll try and speed up, just like a drive on a smaller scale. People will try and speed up all their motions to try and get more power. But really, when you think about it, it should be the opposite way around. If you speed it up, that's when your wrist will come out. It'll snap out of your wrist early, and your grip will fall out. But I like to hold a really firm grip when I'm putting, especially. That way, if I snap it out of my hand, it's not going to wobble. If you hold a loose grip, it's just going to come out of your hand all fluffy, And I think a lot of people's problems is not just reaching back slow enough. So when I'm putting, I'm reaching back like this slow. Then I'm coming forward. And instead of coming back fast, really fast forward, just like a jump putt. Same thing with the driving. Like I was telling you, you're not going to reach back really fast and go forwards slow. That's not, because you're not going to get as much power. Same thing with the jump putt. You're going to reach back, do your same motions, except maybe even reach back slower. So that way, when you're coming forward, you're coming through faster, since it's a farther putt with a jump putt. So I think I see that people make that problem a lot, is where they'll try and overcompensate with their arm, or their, snap the wrist harder, when really they just need to slow it down in the beginning, and by the time you come forward, at the end, you're coming fast. And it's not going to wobble as much, I don't think. I think grip has a lot to do with it. The grip is because a lot of people they'll be tentative or something and just hold the disc really soft because they're not confident. I like to hold it hard and firm all the time. That way I know, even if I mess up, it's not because of my grip. Something else I did wrong. Like as soon as I putt, I know exactly what I did wrong. I'll say maybe I didn't move my weight forward, I didn't lift my arm up or something. So that's just to eliminate the variables, just to make sure you hold the putter tighter.
Does your grip change between like 80 and 20 feet?
No, I hold this. So I'm weird because I hold the disc almost the same every time. Like I hold drive, kind of like a fan grip, and then putts I'll just kind of hold it out, put my fingers all fanned out on the bottom of the disc. So I basically have the same grip for all backhands, really. Anyone else? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for listening. I hope I helped you out a little bit.
I don't get it.